So yeah, man, I just thought we'd go through sort of what's been happening over the past few months, what your thoughts are on Polaris, because they've got the weird new rule set, just how you're feeling preparing for the event, and just what you've got after that. And if there's anything else you want to talk about, then feel free.
Oh, cool. No, nice.
Nice. Well, yeah. Well, look, I guess the past few months have been pretty weird for you. Well, weird for everyone, lockdown and all. It's not your first time competing out, because obviously you had the last Polaris event. But how's it been preparing for these couple of things?
It's at the start, it was kind of challenging. Like I could train, but I only had like one or two training partners, which
Hmm.
were good. They're good, solid training partners. Like, but it's like when you get used to the same bodies all the time, you need different reactions. Like when you start training with the same people just over and over and over again, they learn your whole game. They know my game anyway, but it's like got to the point where we knew exactly what each other was going to do every step of the round. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you need those different reactions, even if they're worse than you. You need everyone's going to react differently to different things. You know what I mean? So then you need to it gets your brain working, prepping for those different body types, different reactions. So now it's much better. Now I have a lot more training partners right now. So this one's actually been better to prepare for than the first one.
Did you only have a couple for that first one before?
Yeah, for the first one, yeah,
Nice. And how do you
yeah,
feel coming into that? Because you had a really sick first match, it was a good second match as well, but like obviously you
yeah,
won the first one.
yeah. Felt good. I did feel good. I had a hard side of the bracket. Like Silvio, then Freddie was hard. I never
Hmm.
fought Silvio before, but I heard he's just like really strong. That's what everyone says. Like it's insane strength, and he was really strong, to be fair. But that's just what I heard from everyone before. Like everyone says, it's like freaky. It's like weird. You don't know how strong he is, and you see him manhandle people. And I've just seen him wreck really good people before. Like he just mows straight through him. So the match was a bit stale because I couldn't really because right away he jumped on my neck, and like that's like his best position. So when I got out of it, I was like, if I get caught in that again, I'm probably not going to get out of it again. Do you know what I mean? How many times can you get caught in someone's best position and get out? So it's sort of like I think I was really fresh, so I like as my neck was pretty jacked up for like a few weeks after that. I just remember ripping my head out. So and he had like such a good bite on my neck. So then after that, I couldn't really give my neck at all, and he wasn't being that. He wasn't really pushing for anything. He was kind of waiting for me, and I was kind of waiting for him. But I feel like he was never going to score a position on me. I felt like unless he could grab my neck or something, but I felt like pretty comfortable in that.
Hmm.
And then yeah, the match with Freddie was good as well. I actually felt solid in that match as well. It was a difficult match really. I messed up one time. He was like, to be fair to him, he really presses forward and tries to compete, which is good for me. I like people like that. So I messed up one time out of like 20 pass attempts, and that's where he scored the points on me. But I felt good up until that, and after that, I felt solid. I felt like he wasn't going to catch anything on me, like positional wise or submission wise. But then I paid for that.
Yeah, it's just little margins in it.
Yeah, it's difficult, man. When you got a guy like that, he's a unit and he's really good as well. It's like hard to recover, you know.
Well, he's a beast. He looks kind of like an animal. Like the man's huge and hairy, and yeah,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's a big sweaty bear. I called him.
yeah. How do you? I've always heard that like first match, the first point, sorry, normally indicates who's going to win the match, like big percentage wise. I mean, how do you feel after that first point got scored on you? Because you say you did well, and after you did well, was it kind of trying to claw
Yeah,
it back?
I'm not. Yeah, I didn't feel like I could really get anything going either. It's not like I felt like I was going to catch him or anything. I was going to sweep him, start doing stuff. I didn't feel like I could do much, but I didn't feel like he could pass my guard again. Do you know what I mean? And then
Hmm.
the judges actually said to me, if he didn't score the position, if he didn't get the pass in the mount, they would have given me the decision based on the rest of the match. Obviously, that's not
Yeah.
what you want, but it's like hard to because I was attacking a lot of Kimuras, Tarika Platas. I was trying to just attack as best I could and stop him from passing. But it's hard, man. It was hard for me to get anything going anyway because he was so sweaty. Like, it was literally like oil on him. Like I couldn't. He was shirtless. I couldn't even get a grip on anything. So really, it was helping my guard retention as well because every time he would almost get near to a pass, I could pummel I could like slip out as well. So it sort of worked and it sort of hurt me a little bit and it helped me a little bit. But I felt like if I was going to win that match, I probably would have won a decision because I didn't feel like I was going to be able to like just dominate him or anything like that. But I felt like he wasn't going to pass again or anything like that. So that was a bit frustrating because then he went on and did well in the finals. I think I would have done well in the finals as well.
Yeah.
I felt good that day. So Yeah, it's hard pill to swallow. But Freddie's good, you know what I mean? So
He's good, and he fucking won.
yeah,
And he honestly, I didn't think he'd beat Ross, but there you go.
I know I did.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah,
Yeah, I knew he was. No, nothing to do. I think they train together a lot. They train together a lot. And I heard he like beats Ross in training. But Ross is a lot smaller, man. Ross is a lot smaller than me. Freddie walks around apparently at 97 kilo. He cut to 90. Ross is like 74 kilo, 75 kilo, I think. Like, it's a big size difference. I train with Ross as well. Ross is not a big guy.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, how much do you weigh? Because you're the under 95 bit, aren't you?
Yeah, but there's just two weight classes. They only offer me the
Well,
heavyweight one. Yeah, I wouldn't have made 75, no way. But I'm about 84.
Mm-hmm. No, right in the middle.
Yeah, I think there's a few of us like that. Like on the other side, you got Tariq, Teta as well. On the other side, like Eduardo Rios. Who else? Marcin Held, I don't think is very heavy. Then you got me, Dara, on the under 95, and I think Kieran Davin's like 90, maybe high 80s, but Dara's like high 70s. I'm like 4, so it's like the only people who are like really 95ers are Santiri on the other team, Santiri, and then Bradley Hill on our team. They're the only like bigger people, you know.
Yeah. Is there anyone you're looking forward to facing, or you're hoping you're going to come up against?
Yeah, Teta, you know, Eduardo Rios. That's someone I really want to face.
Why him?
He's the captain of the other team because he's, in my opinion, he's a legend in his own right. Really, I think so. He's like, I know he's not like multiple time world champion stuff. He's been around forever. Like, he was one of the original guys in like Carlson Gracie team back in the day. Well, like, his coach is Ricardo Laborio, and I know like he's like Ricardo Laborio's like protege since he was like a kid, I think. So he's been around forever, and he's fought all these great tournaments. He's a coach of great athletes. Like, so I think someone that I'll probably never face him again. He's like in the Masters category. We're the same size, same weight class, but he's in the Masters division. He has nothing to prove in the adult division. Like, I think he's like, I don't know, I don't want to say how old he is, but I know he's Masters. And so this will probably be the only opportunity I get to face him. You know what I mean? Everyone else I could potentially face again. They're all like younger competitors and stuff like that. So he's like someone, this is going to be a good, like, and I personally, like, before this, I watched his matches a lot just to study for myself, like, as a fan, because I like his jiu-jitsu a lot. So that's someone I really want to face.
That's fair. Is that something you do a lot, studying people before matches?
No, not really opponents, but I watch a lot of jiu-jitsu. Like, I watch a lot anyway. So, like, a lot of the people I face, I know about them anyway. It's not like I try not to. I used to. I think this is the story of a lot of people. Like, when you first start competing, you want to analyze your opponents like as much as you can, but then it throws you off a little bit when you know this guy's really good at a footlock. You're going to be worrying about the footlock the whole match, and then you never really get your game going. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
I know what you mean. I mean,
so then it's like you're fixated with what they're good at instead of focusing on what you're good at. So I try not to ever look at my opponents like now. Is the less I know about them, the better, to be honest. But then when you're facing good people in a tournament like this, I know everyone anyway. There's not one person I don't know on the other team well. Like, I know them all well. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, but that's just from me watching jiu-jitsu. I just know them. So everyone's good, you know? So I pretty much know what to expect from each person, really.
I guess it's a pretty small world, so you're going to run into people over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a small world, especially when you're in like the competition scene. You can compete a lot. Like, I fought Tariq twice. Fought Dinu on the other team twice. Yeah, twice. And then everyone else I've just seen like a whole bunch, you know, so.
So you're kind of familiar with everyone's styles, but you don't analyze anyone to any great depth.
Nah, and we don't know who's going to face who really yet. So it's a bit like, who are you going to prep for? Just prep as best I can. Just make sure I'm fit, I'm strong, my jiu-jitsu sharp, and that's it.
Yeah.
I face it.
Well, on that subject, like, what's your thoughts on the new rule set?
Yeah, I think it's sick. I always wanted to take part in like a team tournament like that. After watching Quintet, I always thought that was really cool. And then, so I know it's not the same as Quintet, but
it's like a little more complicated Quintet.
Like, I haven't properly looked over the rules. I know like kind of what's going on, but I need to properly like look over. I know the matches are 5 minutes and little bits like that. I know, but I know how many points each other gets for submissions, like, etc. But I need to like look over the rules properly and just check everything. But yeah, I always wanted to be a part of a team tournament like that, and especially like a tournament like Polaris, you know, that has a big. I think this will be really cool. I think this will be. I think it'll be really good. I think it's going to get like a lot of publicity, something new, you know, something different. As I think Quintet was the only tournament doing something like this, you know. So now it's like a European version. So I think it's gonna be sick. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, Quintet went down really well, and
Yeah,
Polaris
it did.
consistently puts on great shows. So I'm hoping this
Yeah,
will nail it.
yeah.
I mean, I guess sort of broader question then. Obviously, they're experimenting with a new rule set. What are your thoughts on that? Because obviously, even like normal Polaris is a one way. The last Polaris was, a different way, but more standard points based. This Polaris, something else altogether. Do you like the variation? What are your thoughts that people keep mixing up rules?
Yeah, I think you got to keep it fresh. When people are getting a bit, especially right now when they can't get all the superstars they want to get in. Do you know what I mean? They usually bring the attention to the event. You got great people on the event, but I mean you haven't got maybe a lot of the American guys that would usually be on there. You haven't got a lot of the Brazilian guys who would usually be on there, etc. And you need something to bring people to the event. You got to make people want to watch it. So I think this just adding like a new thing. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Especially, I think they're doing their best with what they got at the minute. I think it's a great idea. So hopefully it goes down well, and I think they're going to keep doing this on like a bigger scale. Maybe have like Team USA, Team Brazil. I think this can be like a really cool thing. Like Quintet, I think they could just add this in as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just got to see how it goes down. It's trial and error, but I'm really optimistic for it.
Nice. And do you have like a favorite rule set to compete under, or?
And you know what? People always think I'm weird when I say this, but I actually like points. I like points tournaments. I grew up competing like in points tournaments, like standard tournaments, sub only and stuff. It's like a new thing. I actually prefer that. I find it more interesting. I find it better. I find a lot of sub-only stuff sucks. I think some people are really good in that rule set. Like some people are amazing to watch in that rule set, but there's a very niche. There's a very few that are amazing to watch in that rule set. A lot of people just like try not to get this. Just like two people who don't want to get submitted. They just give up positions and stuff like that. And it doesn't push the action. When you've got a points tournament, obviously there can be stalling. But then it's like they can be stalling in sub-only tournaments as well. Unless you do like a no time limit thing, there's a lot of stalling in sub-only stuff as well, especially stuff that goes to overtime, like EBI overtime. A lot of people stall
a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And people stall out the whole match, which is even worse. Do you know what I mean? Because there's not really many penalties and stuff in sub-only. I don't know if they even have penalties in sub-only stuff. So it's sort of like that stuff sucks, I think. And then you see sometimes, I think the fight to win rule set's good. Have you seen Fight to Win?
I've watched a bit of it, but I've never really looked into
the rule sets. Are the positional dominance doesn't really matter. Submission attempts, you will see someone get completely dominated for the whole match, go for a footlock at the end, and then they win. That's silly as well. Like you have to respect the positions. Do you know what I mean? And then points makes people open up. Like if you don't care, if there's no points, there's nothing that happens when you get your guard passed. You're just going to accept that, sit in side control, and just defend and try and escape. And it's just a bit dead, really. Especially with no gi, it's hard to. I don't know. It's hard. You want someone to push the action. I like ADCC as well. I think that's a cool rule set. I think it's a mixture of both, really. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a really cool rule set to watch. I really enjoy watching ADCC. A lot of the times I can't watch sub only unless it's like a really good athlete competing. If it's a sick guy in that rule set, I'll be like buzzing to watch. I'll be like, yeah, but that's for them. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the time, it's the guys aren't that good, and they're just like they're very boring to watch. They just play like leg locks with each other, and it's super boring. I actually prefer watching gi, to be honest. I prefer gi jiu-jitsu. I prefer watching that.
No, fair enough. I mean, my personal thoughts on it that it's a bit weird, but I like it when it's just judges, almost like MMA. You're just like that guy won or that guy won, because there's no need to count up the points, but you get that respect of the position.
Yeah, I like that as well. But then you got to favour positional dominance as well. You have to. But then like Fight to Win doesn't do that and stuff. So that sometimes there's some really bad decisions where everyone's like, what? Like, I don't know if you'll know any of these people, but Ethan Krellenstein fought Cade Rotolo, I think, and Ethan just dominated Cade the whole match. Really, positionally, just dominated him the whole match. Passed his guard a bunch of times. I think mounted him. I don't think he took his back. I know he mounted him and stuff. Like he just completely dominated him. And Cade went for a couple like crappy heel hook attempts. Like Cade's sick as well, though. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying he went for some bad heel hook attempts, some straight footlocks, and he won the decision. And it was like a bit of obviously the guys know the rule set before they compete, but it just leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth sometimes, when there's no reward for the mount, the back, the passing and stuff like that. It's a bit like, I don't know, it takes away how good of a position you got on that guy. That's to me, that's truly dominating someone. Like if you go into a match and you quickly leg lock them or something like that, I don't know if that's really I don't know, I wouldn't say that's dominating the match. So you just got a better heel hook than they have a defense or something like that. But if you go in, you sweep them, you pass the guy, they take their back, you take their back and you submit them, that's like complete dominance. You're a much better grappler. So I think you need to reward those positions that are harder to get. But it's hard, man, to pass on this guard. You go against someone nogi who's really good. It's hard to take their back. It's really difficult. Like I think you should be, like it should be rewarded. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I've always thought that the variation in it keeps it fresh. I think you said something along those lines before. Just means people don't, because EBI does get gamed a lot. I like the Polaris.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think the old EBIs are awesome. So I don't like EBI anymore. I think I can't watch it anymore. Not with the combat and the EBI overtime itself. I think that sucks. But it's like the old EBIs were sick back in the day when you had everyone. You had Gary Tony beating all of them. Gordon when he was coming up. Gordon Ryan. You had Eddie Cummings. So these were fun to watch, and they had like really good people. But I think that's because a lot of the people in those EBIs were points players. They were IBJJF competitors. A lot of them were gi guys, but they just were going in with that mindset. They were just trying to win positional dominance, which led to them maybe getting submitted, but it was a funner match. I feel like when you get two sub-only players, they play very carefully to not get submitted, but they don't really get any positions. Some are about like completely different from that. I'm not talking about like the elite of that game. I'm talking about the majority. Do you know what I mean? When you see the EBIs nowadays, a lot of them are sub-only guys, and a lot of them will just sit the guard, try and leg lock. The other one won't really try to pass because they're going to get leg locked. But when you look at the old ones, you had all these guys coming through who were like gi competitors as well. No, like they would fight points tournaments, and you saw they were really because it's drilled into their head, it's ingrained. They were really trying to achieve positions. Do you know what I mean? They were really trying to get those positions, and that would maybe lead them to getting subbed, or it would lead to a good match. Do you know what I mean? But then when you have these two sub-only guys who just have leg locks, for instance, and they don't really have a positional game. It becomes like neither one of them does anything. If one of them does, they're going to get caught with like a leg lock or something like that. But like leg locker guys can just get shut down if the guy just doesn't engage. It completely shuts them down. They can only catch stuff if people actually try and pass. And I think the crowd is really going away from positions, and they're just trying to focus on like lower body submissions. So you just don't see much. You don't see much action. If you do, it's like not fun to watch at all.
Yeah, well, I guess as like rule sets get mature and have been around for a while, people do start falling into these trends. That's why, leg locks are fantastic, but people are falling a bit too much into them. There's a reason that...
I see some people, they're really good. They're really sick of leg locks, but they have like no other jiu-jitsu. So it's a bit like, I don't know, if they're really good at that, I guess it's good for them, but I don't know. You just see them sometimes. I've seen some people, I'm not going to say anyone, but it's like I've seen some people before, they're really sick at leg locks. They're really sick. And they'll put a guy in like a leg entanglement or whatever. The guy literally defends for like 3 minutes, and the guy's just completely done. He has nothing left. And then the guy just passes and taps him from the mount. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, like you're meant to be sick, man. You don't have any fundamental jiu-jitsu. You don't seem to anyway. Like you just have nothing. Like when he escaped your leg lock, you literally had nothing. And it's like, I don't know. I hate watching it. I hate it.
You seem to be hating on leg locks a lot. Is that just because of the
No, I get heel hooked a bunch as well. No, no, but I do like them as well. I like attacking them, but yeah, it's just I don't know. I just that whole crowd is just like I just find it boring to watch personally as like a spectator.
Yeah, no, I guess there's a difference between making a competitive rule set and a good viewing rule set. But
yeah, for sure.
To get back to Polaris, then, I mean, do you come in with a specific sort of game plan? Because I know, in your matches last time, it was a lot of guard play, and like especially against the guys you're against, you didn't really want to be wrestling with them. Is that just how you game, or is that them specifically you did that against?
No, usually that's how I'll play. To be honest, I prefer to be on top, but my wrestling is not like amazing or anything like that. So usually I'll play guard, try to catch someone from the bottom, maybe sweep, and then I can work my top game. I feel like in no-gi, like my game gi and no-gi is very different. So I need to, like, for this, I haven't been able to put on the gi to train. I'm just traveling to train no-gi because my games are very different. And they'll like with the gi, I use the gi a lot. So it's just completely different for no-gi. So I think I'll really flourish in no-gi when I can get on top. I can start passing, being aggressive, and then looking for the back. That's usually like what I try to do. So... But I couldn't wrestle with Silvio and Freddie, man. They wrecked me. Yeah.
No, right.
My wrestling's improving, but it's not. it's not to the level where I want to test it out on Polaris. So.
No, not this time around.
Nah, no way.
Is there anything you've been working on specifically? Because obviously it's been a different situation for everyone, and I know some people have worked on alternative skills to normal. Or does that not apply to you?
Oh no, yeah, I really took strength and conditioning, like hit it hard this whole lockdown. That's something that I can be thankful, I guess, for the lockdown for. I didn't do. I've been through stages in my whole career, like doing it and not doing it, not doing it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate doing it. But it's like I always just like to train jiu-jitsu more. I train jiu-jitsu all the time, like all day pretty much. I'm training. So it's like, and I find that really, really like I get such pleasure out of training. So, but then when I was only training with a few guys, maybe they didn't want to train twice or 3 times in the day, whatever. So I had to supplement. So I had to do something else. So I couldn't just like train once per day and just chill for the rest of the day. Like I'm not bummed. Do you know what I mean? I had to do something. So I was like, okay. So I started getting into like lifting, and now we're back training normal. I've still got that rhythm, you know. So now I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the strength gains I'm getting, just becoming a better athlete. I think that's what lockdown gave me. It gave me that, which is good.
I always find it funny how disconnected jiu-jitsu guys seem to be from strength and conditioning. I mean, obviously not professional athletes like yourself. You obviously do it, but
yeah, I knew it was always essential, but I always just used to fight it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was like, nah, I don't have to. I heard Marcelo Garcia doesn't do it, so I won't do it. That's how I used to think. That's what I heard Marcelo.
He just does jiu-jitsu, right? Nothing but.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, I think he did his whole career. Yeah, apparently he didn't lift much ever. So, but that's Marcelo Garcia. You know?
But I find that interesting because grappling sports in general have always been really linked to like strength in general. Like if you look at old catch wrestling and grappling from other parts of the world, it's all to do with strength and conditioning. It's just jiu-jitsu. We seem to be like, don't need it. It's fine. I always find this
I think
very weird.
guys are lazy, man. I think jiu-jitsu guys are lazy, to be honest.
Yeah,
I guess the pros all lift. The pros all lift.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely do. I think most of them do anyway. A high percentage of them, which you see, they're all yoked and all juiced up. So they're definitely lifted on top of that. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I know, but I think the stuff with catch wrestling and stuff, I think that's a lot more mongy anyway. It's a lot more strength anyway. They all seem to be so jacked, catch wrestlers, don't they? But they're not that good, like. I don't think.
That's because there's like 100 of them.
Yeah, I know. None of them are that good, but they're always jacked, to be fair to them. So they're always super yoked. I swear that's like a part of the contract you sign when you're like, right, I'm going to be a catch wrestler, put it in my Insta bio. I have to be jacked. Like, you have to sign it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but no, that's true. You do have a good point. I don't know why jiu-jitsu guys are lazy, man. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I know I was maybe.
Something like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just odd that it's always been disconnected, but it is what it is for whatever reason, and the professional athletes do act like professional athletes. Again, I guess back to Polaris. How did the selection process take place? I mean, I don't really know how people got picked to be on the team. Do you just get a message one day saying chosen?
Yeah, okay. I can't speak for everyone. I can only speak about myself, you know. But well, the people who run Polaris are the brand Scramble and Tatami, and I'm sponsored by Tatami. I never been put on Polaris before ever. I never asked them to, but I never been put on it. Maybe I think it's because I do more like standard tournaments. You know what I mean, I wasn't really big in like a sub only sort of scene, but I won like a lot of stuff in like standard tournaments. So. It was quite a while before I got asked to be on Polaris, but then I know my sponsor really pushed for me to be on there. Like he put my name in there, said, "No, let's put Taylor on." I'm very thankful to them for that. And then I think just because I had a good performance, they like called me back. You know, for the Team UK one. I think that's just what happened. So I just had a good performance, so they brought me back. So I can't speak for everyone else, but that's what happened to me. They asked me. And
is it Polaris who picked the teams directly, or was it the team captain? Do you know?
No, Polaris.
No, Polaris.
Yeah.
And have you spoken to any of the other? I mean, I assume you've spoken to them, but have you talked to many of the other guys about the competition and about plans for it?
No, not personally. I'm on the team. I'm probably closest with Dara. To be honest, we've spoken a little bit, but we trained together a bunch of times before. We're good friends, so but that's the only one I really spoke to. I haven't got any training with any of them or anything like that.
No,
I'm quite far from everyone, to be honest.
I guess everyone's pretty spread out, and
Yeah,
if you're
everyone's
not,
well spread out.
I guess it doesn't actually matter too much anyway. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be grappling with the people on your team.
No, not now. But it's just be good to get some training. But yeah, everyone's quite spread out and stuff. Like we're all just trying to get back to normal here. I have a great set of training partners. So it's nothing like that. I don't need to travel for training partners. It would be nice, but it's not like essential.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really good squad with me training. So.
And where is it you train out of?
Colchester.
You're up in Colchester. That's fair.
Yeah, in Essex. Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, I think we've covered off Polaris and sort of the stuff that's happened over the past few months. Mate, I've completely forgot. Congrats on your black belt. That wasn't too long ago, was it?
Thank you. No, a few months ago, I think.
Nice. I mean, how long's that been, how long have you been training for now to get that?
9 years.
9 years. No, fair. And how's it
9
feel?
years, yeah. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. It wasn't like a shock or anything like that, because obviously this is my career, it's my job, So obviously the black belt was always going to happen. So it's never it wasn't like I was really shocked. I always knew it was going to happen. I always knew I was going to get it. And it's sort of like I was going to get it. I knew I was going to get it after Worlds this year. But it was obviously Worlds was cancelled from COVID. So I just, around the time when we could get all trained again, I hadn't seen my coach for pretty much the whole lockdown. So, because he lives in London. So I hadn't seen him. So then as soon as I saw him again, he just gave it to me and my teammate Yanis. So it was cool. It's nice. It's nice. It is a nice feeling to come full circle. I'm just looking forward now to be able to compete with the people I've been studying and really been fans of this all my whole career, since I've been growing up. It's going to be very cool to compete at the highest level now. I'm really excited for it.
That'd be cool,
really
man.
excited.
And,
yeah, that's another reason why I took my strength and conditioning seriously now, because you can't, the coloured belts, you can get away with it. You can. The guys are elite still, but you can get away with maybe just being good at jiu-jitsu. You don't need to be like a super athlete or anything at the top level. You have to try your best in everything. You have to be a great athlete. You have to eat right. You have to sleep right. You have to train properly. Otherwise you're not going to win at this top level. Everyone's too good, man. Everyone's too sick, so you have to just really, really put in max effort all the time. So that's what I'm really trying to do now. Just really, really putting a lot of effort in.
Nice. And I guess you've, you sound pretty prepped for it, but what have you got lined up for the rest of the year?
I don't know, man. I'm actually lucky I've been able to compete through COVID, really, because it just sort of sucked the whole year away. I started the year really well. I got bronze at the Europeans, and then I won the Grand Slam. I won the London Open. I won some big tournaments, the bronze of the Europeans at Brownwell was really big, so that's a good achievement as well. So I started the year really good. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good year competition. Then Grand Slam, I beat some really good guys, won that, closed out with my teammate, and then COVID happened. So I was lucky to even get these Polarises anyway to keep competing. But I don't know, whatever's available, man. I know they've rescheduled the Pan Ams, but I don't want to travel for that. If they're gonna, then hopefully they reschedule the Worlds, Hopefully, or maybe they put it to the end of the year. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, but that'd be sick. I want to compete in the gi again. But I heard they're not even doing Europeans next year now in January. I heard that. So which is really shit. I was really buzzing for that.
I mean, I guess Polaris is a lot easier to put on in terms of that. You don't need.
Yeah, exactly. I heard they're all freaking out in Portugal, man. I heard they're really scared, but I don't think they're going to have it. That's what I heard anyway. But
it's a shame. I'm not that surprised. So nothing.
Yeah, I thought this would be done by now, honestly, mate. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I don't know shit, but I thought this was all. I thought at least I thought, well, man, this year's done, but at least we've got next year. We can hit it hard. That's another reason why I was training really solid as well, because I wanted to just prep for when we could come back. I wanted to come back strong. I know a lot of people were training through it, but a lot of people were lazy too. Loads of people were lazy and used it as an excuse to slack. I didn't slack at all. I trained harder, because I didn't have to work. I couldn't teach privates or anything. So I trained harder than I usually do. Do you know what I mean? So I've really upped the training.
Yeah.
So
it's funny talking to people, because most people say they've had to back off, but you get the occasional person who's just been like, I've done more than ever.
Yeah, that's exactly how I hit it. I hit it really hard. My teammate James Webb and me were really pushing each other. He's got a fight on Cage Warriors next weekend, actually.
Nice.
And Yeah, so that's be pretty cool. We've just been training super hard, like motivating each other, pushing each other. Because like we just didn't want to be lazy, you know. Wanted to use this time for something good. While everyone else, it sort of gives us motivation as well. When other people were going to be lazy, we could overtake them that much more. You know, just like make sure we're that much further apart from everyone.
Yeah,
that was sort of like the goal in our head. You know, just make sure we come back much better than before. When everyone slacked off, we're just going to be that much better. You know,
ahead of the pack and all that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I wish I'd done quite as much as you. I got myself some mats to use in the garden, but I don't know how good.
I loads of my students and stuff. My friends got mats and stuff for their houses and their garden. That's sick. I wish I had the space. I don't have the space. No room. I couldn't do that.
There's trouble for a lot of people. Well, everywhere really, but like, you know, especially if you're in the city or whatever. There's no room.
Yeah, shit. Well, I'm in it's called a city now, but it's a town now. It's in Essex, and so here it's not that bad. But to do it in London or anything would be like a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can do it there. It's fact, yeah. Where do you live?
Well, I had the mats back at my parents' house because I ran there when at the start of COVID. But right now I'm in London.
Cool, nice.
You know, there's a bit more room here to train anyway. But my flat where I was before, tiny little thing, could barely move.
No point. There's no point, man. If you can't go have a good round, it's hard to even motivate yourself to do that. You know, I don't know. If I'm really all or nothing, like that's my personality. Like I'm really all everything, or I don't want to do it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like if I can't train 100%, I can't have the room. I just almost don't want to do it. Do you know what I mean? I know it's better than nothing. If you've had nothing, it is definitely better. But me, I'm just stuck. I'm like, oh no, I'd rather roll like on the grass or something like that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, my trouble was it wasn't even the training; it was the fact that I thought I was going to freak out from claustrophobia stuck in their little flat.
It's
good to get out of there anyway. Like, managed to got some weights and stuff at home. So managed to hit that and move up like 3 weight classes. So I've got some work to do to get back.
You bumped up, have you? Yeah, when everyone come back, we all called it the COVID 20. Everyone put on like 20 pounds.
COVID 20, I like that.
Yeah, that's what we were calling it. Everyone coming way bigger than this.
Nice.
It's good.
Man, okay. Is there anything you wanted to talk about that we've not gone over yet? Anything at all?
No, I can't think of anything. No.
Well,
sorry.
That's all right, mate. I just wanted to say that before we close off, because I think we've covered off Polaris and, you know, what you've done and what you've got planned. So, like, thanks for doing this. I'll get this up on the YouTube page as soon as I can. I'll let you know when it's up there.
Cool, man. Appreciate it.
Best of luck for the competition. I hope you're active for the rest of the year, and I'll keep an eye on it. It'll be exciting.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Have a good one, yeah.
No worries. Cheers, boss. Bye.
Peace. Bye.